Okay, after 2 days of testing, these are my best settings for Microsoft Flight Simulator with the RTX 4080 and a 5600X Ryzen 5, 32 gigs of RAM. We're using DirectX 11 because DirectX 12 is not that great for me in VR for some reason. Now, I used DirectX 12 beta with DLSS frame generation for 2D mode, and I was getting about 70-80 frames per second in New York City, which is insane for me coming from a 3070. Okay, so we're also rocking super ultra settings here. Objects levels of detail is 200 for terrain level of detail, and image sharpening is at 100. So I don't know why all of this. Oh, sorry. You know what? We're gonna go back and discard all that because those aren't my VR settings. Okay, because I was wondering, I was like, those are not VR level of detail. Okay, so here we go. So using super resolution performance mode, because I found that in quality or balance mode, I was getting these stutters that, like, it would be super smooth and then a stutter, super smooth and then a stutter, super smooth and a stutter. I mean, and I know the stutters come with territory, but believe me, these are much smoother and much more stable frame rates under performance for me. And, you know, using 100% resolution of the headset, you can definitely tell there's a loss of quality, but not enough where I would trade the frame rates. And again, my image quality is fantastic because I got everything pretty much pumped up to ultra. There's a couple of high settings in there, a couple of medium settings. But I am using motion reprojection, and that is set at 30 frames per second, and it's pretty locked, and when it does drop, you'll see it. I'm going to be doing some city flying, some low-level country flying as well. So we're going to start here in not Santa Rosa. We're going to go in further in, yep, San Rafael. And then we'll end up in San Francisco, and we'll be doing some, you know, city flying and popping in and out and whatnot. Why can't I? Oh, because of that. No, I want to pick the act because we're just going to get up in the air. Why can't I select that for a takeoff? Why won't it let me? What is happening right now? There we go. So this departure. It was just a weird angle. I think I was, like, if I was over here, I would have been able to see it. Okay, so we're just going to take off. I'm going to go take, we're going to do some time of day changes in the flight. I'm going to try not to talk as much as possible in the flight because that adds a lot of jitter to the video. But we're going to do some time of day changes, some weather changes, and then some all different types of terrain flying, city, country, mountain, sea level, at sea, and you can do all that in the Bay Area. So it's a good place to do it in. All right, so the 145 we're also using because it's kind of a resource hog, the 145. If you fly their free version, the High Performance Group, by the way, fantastic helicopter, buy it if you don't have it. If you want to, and helicopters are supported in the game now. You can actually take off from helipads and all that now. Anyway, the Hype Performance Group H145, Airbus H145, fantastic. I'm using that because it's a resource hog. Once again, their free version, the H135, is way less of a resource hog, but the 145 is way more realistic and just has way more features and is worth the price, honestly, and it's not even that expensive. Anyway, let's go. Let's fly. I should have been talking all this BS while I was loading the game, but I'll timestamp it so you don't have to wait, but it doesn't take that long. Or you can just fast forward it, or you can find out how long it takes for my system to load into the game, or sim rather. Excuse me, pardon me for all my simmers out there that might have taken offense to me calling it a game. A lot of people do that. The people I fly with these days anyway, they do. Alright, so we're just about loaded up. I'm going to switch to VR once we get loaded in here, and then I'll also switch to view. Alright, here we go. Switching to VR now. And gonna switch you guys to one eyeball right there. Alright, and okay, so we're just going to get the MFD started here, and the way I like them. Just because it'll calm my OCD down. I don't use the GTN 750s, but you have to have them for some reason. I know. I'm just a very, very beginner flight simmer, guys, so relax with all that. Alright, let's go. In the air. Once again, we're going to do a little bit of everything kind of flying, and then I'll do some drastic maneuvers here and there. But then I'll generally fly like I'm just going to take a normal flight, as I usually do. Alright, so we'll do some city flying, country flying, times of day changes, weather changes, and away we go. Let me just set my cockpit position here. Alright, we're good to go. I'm doing a little outside view. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. And here we go. We are directly in the line of sight of the sun, so let's give it a turn. The windsock says no real wind to speak of. A little wind on it. I'm going to also try to keep my head as still as possible while still panning around. So I'm not going to try to do some crazy head movements. Try to keep it in mind. But I am in VR, so it's really easy to just go and look at something, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I also set it to scattered clouds at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Scattered clouds at ultra, and you know, still rocking a stable frame rate. And also scattered clouds gives us enough cloud cover that it's a processor hog, but it also lets in some light. But again, we'll be doing some time of day changes and weather changes and stuff, so we'll just try to stress the GPU as much as possible here. But so far, super smooth. Super smooth at like ultra settings. All right, let's go back over the land. So far, freaking perfect. Not one stutter so far. There was one little micro stutter right there for a second, and it was gone. Now that'll all change over the city, which is right there. You can see it, which is another thing. When you're running 100% resolution, you can see that far. It's crazy. All right, let's do a little time of day change. I can do this all while just still flying ahead. All right. Well, time of day change plus some weather. How about that? We'll do a little rain and a whole ton of lightning. Maybe too much rain. There you go. Oh, that's snow. I put some snow on the ground. All right, we'll leave some snow on the ground, and then we'll also add some rain. Rain, lightning. Right on. And we'll change it back to clear when we're back over the city. Okay, a little stutter on the outside view. It's cool because when the rain is out, everything actually gets wet, like the roads get wet. Like I should take off the snow on the road because it kind of detracts from the oops, I didn't have to pause it, sorry. It kind of detracts from the wet ground. So we're just going to take care of that snow. And we'll just have it raining. And now you'll be able to see on the rooftops are shiny and the roads will have puddles in them. And then when it stops raining, when you turn the rain off, it'll still be wet for a little while. See, look, the buildings have wet rooftops. Yeah, it's still super smooth. The rain doesn't affect it. The lightning... Is lightning still on? Yes, lightning's still on. I just haven't seen any in a second. You think we'll make it? Oh no, I blew it. Oh, I blew it. But no damage is on for the test flight. But even that little crash, we didn't stutter at all. So I am coming from a 3070, same processor. Rainbow action. The wet rooftops. Still no real noticeable stutters or any kind of performance deviation. It's been a pretty solid 30-31 frames a second. Alright, we'll do a time of day change here. Go nighttime for a minute. But yeah, everything's really smooth. We'll go just, yeah, just for the sake of the video, just before complete darkness. Sun is almost down, but it's pretty much nighttime on the ground, so all the lights are on, and the lightning should come out a lot better. Put 100% lightning on, but oof, there's one, but I haven't seen an actual lightning bolt yet. Yeah, super smooth frame rates. Now again, over the city, which we're coming up on, that'll be a different story. But that's what this video is the best settings I've come up with for every situation, which is mostly ultra. And the city will get some stutters, but it's, you know, still a hell of a lot better than before. Alright. I would continue the nighttime flying and the weather, but I don't want to, you know, let's try to get a good test for normal flying here, which would be during the day. Let's put it back at around 3 o'clock, and we'll take the clouds to a few clouds. Still have some. And we'll leave the lightning on, screw it. No precipitation. And yeah, I think that'll be it for now. Alright, now I'm going to take us over some problem spots I've always had in the sim. Like this treed area back here. A little tiny little stutter, but it's still good. It's getting, there was a definite stutter right there. Yeah, when I move my head a little bit as well. But still really good. This used to be a really big problem area for me. And it, you know, it's not perfect. But it's a lot better. And anybody who plays this sim will know, enjoys the sim rather, because when you play something it sort of infers that it's a, or you can infer that it is a game that you're playing. But anyone who enjoys the sim knows city flying is a pain in the ass for frame rates, and especially low-level city flying. But as you can see, it's pretty freaking good. It's not bad at all. With ultra settings at 100% resolution. You know, using DLSS, of course, but again, ultra and 100% resolution tends to even out the loss of image quality. Alright, you know, here and there. Ooh, there was a big stutter, yeah. Alright, here we go. But back to smooth. Still doing well. We'll land on one of these buildings here. Yeah, look at that. Now, with the 3070 going through this street right here. Oh god, I'm gonna crash into the wall. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry. That was... what a... I feel like such a noob. Sorry. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This cavern right here between buildings would absolutely crush the 3070. But, as you can see, it's pretty good. It's nice and stable. Alright, there's the port of San Francisco. It's Kuwait Tower right there. And the famous Trans-America Pyramid. Yeah, nice and smooth still. You know, the city definitely can be problematic for this sim, but these 40 series cards, man. It took a couple of days to get dial in certain, you know, little nuances, but once I got the combination of what I run, OpenXR, reprojection, and the settings, and you know, I gotta say it's a pretty enjoyable experience now flying in the city. And look at this, I'm gonna land right here. Now sorry about the 1080p image. At 60 frames is all it can do, but hopefully it's capturing this. Oh, not the smoothest landings, but we can actually get out here and stay alive, right? Alright, so did that, and let's land at the carrier down yonder. Down yonder. There we go, aircraft carrier. Now, as you can see, there's some reprojection artifacts happening through the propellers at times, and especially, again, we're over the city. But my city performance has gotten a lot better.
100 feet.
Let's just move the sun around so we can see a little bit better, or we can make it a dusk landing. Yeah, let's do that, and let's turn, or do we want the clouds again? Let's do the scattered clouds again. Okay, I know you guys can't see much right now because most of the people in the, oh, I'm getting some stutter now. There we go. Yeah, people are just turning on their lights now, but as soon as we get over the water, it'll be freaking perfect. You know what? Let's turn some wind on too, because let's make it a dramatic landing to end the video. Add wind layer. Let's go wind at 20 knots. And let's gust. Let's drop that down. We'll go gust 22 knots. Gust per minute. 18 per minute. Yeah, sure. 13. There we go. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. People's lights are being turned on now. But again, time of day changes, weather changes, and look how pretty that is. Alright, I'm gonna kill this engine right now, just so we can get there a little faster. But we hate her, so we won't be at maximum speed long. Yeah, pretty smooth. Everything has been pretty smooth so far. And it's been damn near flawless in the mountains and in the countryside. Over the city, you still get some, you know, some hiccups. But generally speaking, it's a huge upgrade in performance. Not even performance so much. Well, I guess it would be considered performance, but it's a huge upgrade in settings and throwing ultra settings out there at a higher resolution, which is performance. So there you go. And just keeping the same frame rates since I'm at motion reprojection. I tried it at 45 frames per second motion reprojection, and it wouldn't even reach it. But 30 frames a second, it's pretty rock solid. Pretty rock solid. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's the closest it's gonna get for me right now. And it's, you know, honestly, it's a lot closer than for a lot of people. Look how pretty. Yeah, another thing that used to kill my performance, which doesn't even matter anymore, is ultra textures. I could only get them on medium on the 3070 without it becoming a slideshow. Alright, so here we go. These are my settings, all ultra pretty much. I'll do the settings again at the end of the video, and which is going to be right after we land here. Oh, let me turn on my high intensity searchlight. That's a new feature, or newish feature. We'll put her in a hover right now. And let's turn on the high intensity searchlights. Narrow beam. maximum white light. Yeah. And we'll turn this back so we can see it. Alright, so the searchlight is awesome, and especially when you get to, there it is. The high intensity searchlight is a bomb. When you're doing search and rescue or anything like that with the 145, you can use it. This is a new feature, and you could map it to a hat switch, which I did on my throttle. So I control it with my throttle hat switch, and it's just awesome. I'm telling you, the 145 is freaking great. Alright, this game is beautiful now with ultra settings, and yeah, it's great. Even landing on this carrier used to be kind of a hog, but now it's pretty damn smooth. Alright, there we go. And for one last time, we'll check out my settings. Oh, wait. You guys probably can't see that. Here we go. There we go. Ultra, ultra, ultra. Well, actually, you are in VR. I'm in VR and use VR mode. There you go. Performance mode and DLSS. Ultra, ultra, ultra. 16 times anisotropic filtering. Makes it just see far away. Alright, so texture synthesis is high. Water waves are high. I could go ultra, but I just think they look better at high. I dropped these shadow maps down a little bit and terrain shadows down a little bit, but no, actually, this one is at the highest it goes. And that's about it. Medium, ambient inclusion, I don't see a huge difference in high and medium, so I just leave it at medium. Light shafts, I don't even notice them, so I drop them to medium. And that's it. There we go. 4080, 5600X. Good combo, if you get your settings right. Feel free to message me if you have any questions or anything.